It's hard to believe that I don't have a partner. This is Motoforum Tushar and we're at the Bajaj test track at Chakan riding that, the new KTM 125 Duke, the baby of the family. It's quite green, well, brown out at the back because it is winter. You might even say it's a jungle out there. Now look at this bike, this KTM Duke 125. It's going to have a sari guard when you get it from dealerships, right? Where's the sari guard? I mean, we're supposed to ride.
Tushar, hold on a second. What happened to your face?
What? You mean my beard?
Yeah.
Yeah, so funny story. So I found a very nice hair clipper. You know, the kind that they use in the salons and stuff like that for your hair and beard and things like that. I found it on Amazon.
6 hours later.
Basically, I just took all of the beard off and I was so impressed with how well it works. I actually tried it all across my body. I mean, previously it was a jungle down there, but now it's not. So what is the Duke 125? Well, I'll make this really short for you and you can basically shut the review beyond that. This is a Duke 200 with a 125cc motor. That's really about the sum of it. It's got the same wheels, the same fork, the same shocker, the same cycle components, chain, swing arm. They've not skimped on anything. The swing arm is still that hollow aluminum one. Pretty much the frame, the seat height, the tank, the console, everything is Duke 200, except now it's got a 125cc motor which makes about 14.5 PS and 12 Newton meters of torque. So it's a lot friendlier and a lot more forgiving for the average or entry-level rider who wants to get into a bit of a premium category, but you know, is a little bit afraid, or perhaps his parents are a little bit afraid of him getting into serious trouble. With this one, the chances of that are a little bit lower. Looking nice?
Yeah.
Looks good. My SHELDEKAR pants are visible?
Now they are.
Now they are, no? Okay, so let's talk about how fast this motorcycle is. Short answer, not very, and that's probably a good thing, because this being the entry level into the Duke premium performance category of motorcycles, it makes sense that your little chhapri that you're going to probably buy this bike for doesn't have too much power to play with. With the Duke 200, you do have a fair bit. What is it, 25 PS? Is that about right? Is it 25 PS? Yeah, so about 25 PS, and you know, that's a lot of power for somebody who might be upgrading from like a gearless scooter or something like that. This one makes about 14.5 PS. It'll top out at maximum with my chest on the tank and with a really long straight behind me. It topped out at 120 kilometers per hour, and it'll take some time getting there. So you're unlikely to get into trouble immediately with this bike. With the 200, there's still the high probability that you will. I think this is probably going to be a much safer bike for your little chhapri. I'm going to talk about that safety for a moment. The reason I say that this is a safe motorcycle is because there is way more capability in this chassis than the engine can take advantage of. The brakes are really good. The Revs C1 tires from MRF, excellent, very sticky. I had no problems in the dry, and I understand from other people that they're great in the wet as well. The bike feels sharp, it's agile, it just feels really well put together and solid, way more capable than you're possibly going to take advantage of with that little engine. And that really, to me, is why it's going to be such a great motorcycle for learners. I think this would be an excellent replacement for the original R15, the bike that I started riding on the track with. This would be an excellent replacement to go to the Curry Motor Speedway and learn how to ride on the track. So is there anything really wrong with the 125 Duke? Well, it's really relative and probably in comparison with the rest of the Duke family. For one thing, you don't get a slipper clutch, but really with a 125cc motor, you do not need a slipper clutch. You can jump up to the 250 if you want a slipper clutch. The second thing is that there are no LEDs anywhere on the front headlight. You have a pilot lamp and a halogen, that's about it. With the 250, you at least get the DRLs, and with the 390, you get the full LED unit. This is just a regular system. And the third thing is that you get single channel ABS, which is a bit of a cost cutting measure, but it comes with something called rear lift prevention, which means that there is actually an ABS sensor at the back wheel, but it doesn't actually work to prevent rear wheel lockup. What it does is it ensures that basically your little chapri can never do a stoppie on this vehicle, because you can't turn off the ABS, and the ABS works in concert with this system to make sure that the rear wheel never lifts off the ground. So no matter how hard you brake in the front, the ABS system is going to make sure that the bike stays level. So stunters, sorry, this is not the bike for you. So is the Duke 125 worth it? Well, it's about $118,000 ex-showroom, and that's roughly in Mumbai $140,000 on road. So it's not the cheapest 125 around. You can get 150cc motorcycles making roughly the same amount of power for less money. But what you won't get anywhere else is this unique KTM dynamic ability. Picture this overall frame and chassis package is the same thing that you got back in 2013 when the first KTM 390 came out. So that's a 44 horsepower motorcycle. This is a 44 horsepower motorcycle, but now it's got an engine that makes 14.5 horsepower. So imagine the kind of ability that it needs to deal with. And that's a really good thing, because that's what makes this bike so friendly and fun. The engine is great. Despite being a tiny little oversquare 125cc motor, I had no problems, never stalled, didn't need to feather the clutch a great deal. There are a lot of bikes in the market, and I think you know what I'm talking about, that you really need to rev and keep feathering the clutch so that they don't stall and just die on you. This one doesn't even do that. It's got enough torque. We were running it through the track for a long time, didn't overheat, just kept going. If you want to get into sporty motorcycles or sporty motorcycle riding, this is a great place to start. Okay, are you done with your video?
Yeah.
I think we should move now, because it's a sunny out there.
No, Tushar.
It's a sunny out there. It's a sunny out there. Ogden, are you ready to leave?
Almost, yeah.
Because there's a gaadi back there.
Huh.
There's a helmet out there.